We're seeing a report. Ndigbo happy with Buhari on road construction, says Ohaneze. The Apex Igbo organization Ohaneze Ndigbo applauded President Muhammadu Buhari on the area of road construction in the region. The national president of Ohaneze Youth Council, Mazi Okechukwu Isiguzoro, made this known while briefing journalists in Abakaliki. He, however, stated that the Southeast region will soon take a stand on who to support in the forthcoming general election. Isiguzoro noted that Buhari of the All Progressive Congress, APC, and Alhaji Atiku Abubakar of People's Democratic Party are good presidential candidates, but Igbo will soon decide on who to vote in the 2019 presidential election. He, however, called on Buhari to fulfill his pledge on reactivation of the famous Enugu coal mine, which he made during his campaign tour in 2015. In 2015, when President Muhammadu Buhari was seeking our votes, he did promise us that he would reactivate the Enugu coal mine. But to date, the place is still moribund. And on who to vote as president come 2019, I want to state here categorically that we are yet to take a stand, he stressed. Isiguzoro also condemned the slow pace of work by contractors handling the ongoing rehabilitation of some federal roads in the region, noting that the delay had claimed so many lives. I must tell you that the people of Southeast region is happy with President Buhari's ingenuity, particularly in the area of road rehabilitation, like Enugu Onisha, Enugu Okigwe, and Port Harcourt highways. So we are using this opportunity to ask the contractors to hurry up because Christmas season is just around the corner. Another reason is that there are many lives that have been lost on road accidents along this road, he added. Well, that is Ohaneze's position on President Buhari, Muhammad Buhari. They said he has been doing well with the construction of roads in the Southeast. And Ohaneze sees himself as the voice of the Southeast, that will speak for us. So they are yet to decide who they will vote for. The other time we had IPOB is the voice, and several groups have said they believe they are the voice of Southeast. Do you really think Ohaneze is the voice of Southeast? Will Ohaneze speak on behalf of the whole Igbo? What do you think? On IPOB, they said, hold Abaribe Fani Kayode culpable for Kanu's escape. That is by Ayogu. It says allegation about Kanu's assassination has caused him emotional, psychological trauma. A plaintiff, Mr. Isaiah Ayugu, has urged the Federal High Court, Abuja, to hold Senator Abaribe and former Minister of Aviation, Mr. Femi Fani-Kayode, culpable for the escape of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB Nnamdi Kanu, to Israel. The federal government had proscribed the indigenous people of Biafra as a terrorist group after a court has pronounced it so. Mr. Oganovu Otemu instead the suit on behalf of the plaintiff, Mr. Isaiah Ayogu, a legal practitioner, and made a copy available to newsmen in Abuja. Others included in the action are Ifeanyi Ejiofor, Kansoto Kanu, Tochukwu Uchendo, Emmanuel Shaloben, Emmanuel Kanu, and Uchechi Kanu. In the suit, the plaintiff also asked the court to immediately order the commencement of the investigation into the circumstances surrounding the escape of Kanu from the country. He averred that his action was predicted on the respondent's various allegations that Kanu could have been assassinated by the Nigerian army. The court was also told to order the arrest and prosecution of respondents after proper investigation must have been done on how the IPOB leader fled the country. The plaintiff further alleged that all the listed respondents had aided Kanu's escape. The plaintiff had also prayed the court for an order mandating all the respondents to be prosecuted if they were found to be culpable. Ayogu said during the period when the blackmail was against the military and the Nigerian government, he suffered emotional and psychological trauma, adding that his freedom of movement and rights were hindered. Also joining the suit is Director General of the Department of State Services, DSS, Inspector General of Police, and the Nigerian Police Force. No date has been fixed for the hearing of the case. Meanwhile, this guy wants Kanu guarantors and several other people arrested. We already knew Kanu was planning to attend court prior to the invasion of his compound, which made him elope. So, on Biafra still, Nnamdi Kanu reveals what he requested from Buhari. He speaks on also on 2019. Leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, had called for the boycott of the 2019 general election. Kanu said that when he came out from prison, President Muhammadu Buhari asked him what he wanted, but he told him that he wanted them to open Iguacha, Port Harcourt Seaport, Warri Seaport, Calabar Airport, and Dredge River Niger. Kanu also said he told Buhari that he wanted 100% resource control, but never heard from the presidency again. In a live Facebook broadcast aired by Radio Biafra, Kanu said, "You own the power. You take it back. You can boycott the election and decide what you want. Stand your ground and see the effects in your life." He added, "No restructuring, no election in 2019. Southern leaders. All we have asked for is our freedom, but Igbo men who claim they are politicians brought that to us. We have said it time and time again. We want our freedom. Perhaps some of you are comfortable being slaves. We are not. Why do they want me dead? Biafrans should ask them. When I came out of prison, I ensured that the activities of the Fulani herdsmen were reduced to the barest minimum. Southeast governors and Ohaneze proscribed IPOB under serious pressure. They agreed that Nnamdi Kanu should be killed. Not only me, but my men, my father, brothers. I said to them, IPOB is here to save Biafra, but we are used to it. We are used to the hostility. Our mothers were humiliated and worried, and what did Ohaneze do? They laughed at them and said they want out to protest the whereabouts of Nnamdi Kanu, so it serves them right. These are the people who want us to regard them as leaders. Igbo land has been shrunk to just 5 states. If you go to Opobo, if you speak Igbo, somebody will understand you. We have indigenous Igbo-speaking people in Kogi State, but nobody is talking about them. The Ohaneze and Igbo leaders are merely interested in furthering their own interests. Biafra is older than Nigeria. And this was according to Nnamdi Kanu. He continued, "I have nothing against Igbo leaders. The priorities of some of our leaders are misplaced. They adopted Atiku, but the same set of people are castigating Obi. When I was released from prison, on 2 occasions I was approached and told that the president wants me to put in writing what my requests are, aside from outright independence. Some of you have stopped talking about Le Sharibu. Some of you have stopped talking about Dasuki, who has been granted bail by different courts of law. Nobody is bothered about the well-being of the suffering people. Southern Kaduna is under siege, and everyone is talking about how to vote. We are not going to vote. IPOB will not vote, and I will give you reasons. Why is Dasuki in prison? Why are IPOB members still in prison? Why will a judge say release El Zakzaki and he is still in prison? Shame on you who want to vote." This was by the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. Now, if you think he didn't make sense with what he has said, give us a better idea. Do you think the reason he outlined for not voting are very wrong? We would like to hear what you think. Hermes Python should dance in Israel, where Kanu is, not Igbo land, says Ohaneze. Now, in an interview of the National Publicity Secretary of Ohaneze Ndigbo, Uche Achiokpaga, on fresh plans by the military to hold another Operation Python dance in Igbo land, the reappearance of Nnamdi Kanu and the selection of Peter Obi as vice presidential candidate of People's Democratic Party. Now, here are questions posed before him and his answers. The first one. The Nigerian army has said it will conduct another Operation Python dance in Southeast, which is coming on the heels of the reappearance of Nnamdi Kanu. What is Ndigbo's reaction to this? Here is his answer. That really sounds very strange because the whole world knows that there is no insecurity in Southeast. There is no need for another Operation Python dance. Is the Python coming to dance the relatively peaceful drumbeats here, or is it coming to ignite insecurity? Is it in the Southeast that Kanu reappeared? They had him well, saying that he is in Israel. Let their Python go to Israel and dance. There is no gainsaying that the federal government is playing politics with security, and that is why all the security apparatus is headed by the North, and not just the North, but by Northerners of particular religion. There is colossal insecurity in the whole of northern Nigeria. Look at the callous massacre of innocent Nigerians in Kaduna State. They have no answers to that. Instead, they are bringing the python to dance in Southeast and the crocodile to smile in South-South. At any rate, we are not bewildered at the news because Nigerians have not forgotten how they deployed 30,000 policemen and a barrage of soldiers with armored tanks and other weapons of war just to conduct, or is it to win a governorship election in Ekiti State? But people are killed in tens and hundreds in the north, yet nobody talks about the deployment of the army. Here is the next question he was asked. He said, but the army also said the Operation Python Dance is necessary to combat any form of kidnapping and armed robbery as the end of the year draws near. Do you think the army has enough reasons to deploy soldiers again in the south after what happened last year? Here is his answer. Can you imagine the military coming to combat kidnapping and armed robbery? Is that the primary duty of the army? What then would the police do, or are they insinuating that the police are not doing their work? See, the respective states in the southeast have made adequate arrangement with the police command in synergy with the local vigilante on how to combat armed robbery and kidnapping as well as other violent crimes. With that, the Nigerian army doesn't have any reason to deploy soldiers in southeast at this particular time that everywhere is peaceful. Now here's the third question posed before the Ohaneze man, that they asked the Ohaneze man. Are you categorically saying that it's not in support of another Operation Python Dance in Southeast? He answers, Ohaneze does not and will never support the deployment of soldiers against harmless, unarmed civilians in Southeast and elsewhere. How could they be short of soldiers to check the activities of killer herdsmen, but yet they have enough to unleash on innocent civilians here? It is uncalled for, unnecessary, and ridiculous. It makes no meaning at all. Now, the fourth question. What is your message to the army in this matter? The military should not allow its foundation to be dismantled by ethno-religious sentiments. A country without a united and strong military base is finished. Now, the next question. What advice do you have for the youth and other people in Southeast on how to stay safe when the army comes back with the Python Dance? The youth of the region should understand that they are the targets, and I tax them to be wary. It is not in doubt that our youths are usually peaceful and law-abiding. However, they should know that the Operation Python Dance is just a ploy to arouse their anger, foment some violence or disorder here and there, and capitalize on the situation to kill and maim them, and also hound them to prison. I'm quite convinced that the python will not dance if it has nobody to showcase its dancing steps to. In such a situation, the python will just go home with hunger and shame if it finds no prey. That is my advice. They should just go about their businesses and try as much as possible to ignore what is happening around them. Now the next question is, what is Ohaneze's reaction of the Southeast governors and leaders of the PDP in the zone to the selection of Peter Obi as Atiku Abubakar's running mate? Here is his answer. They were comprehensively right. They all belong to one family. And all of a sudden, such a far-reaching decision that will affect them individually and collectively is all over the social media without their knowledge and input. That is not palatable. Know that they were in a league in installing the integrity and qualification of Peter Obi for the position of vice president. They did not question his selection either. It was apt to point this out at the outset to avoid a repetition. Mind you, the issue is just mad because of the wide acceptance of Peter Obi. Had it been that somebody who was not so acceptable was selected, the decision would have met stiff opposition and not just from the PDP governors and leaders. Because you cannot bring island person to make a selection from Southeast region without consulting the major stakeholders, including the governors. Now on the next question, he was asked, do you think they are right to say that they should have been consulted? His answer, very right. By virtue of their position as governors of the respective states, they have the people's mandate to be consulted on their behalf, alongside other stakeholders. The governors stated that they were not interested in becoming the vice presidential candidate, but courtesy and political relevance demands that they should be consulted. If a governor is the number one citizen of a state, why should he not be consulted on an issue that concerns the state? It is just a matter of courtesy, because at the end of the day, it is the presidential candidate that has to choose his running mate. The governors should have been consulted, even if it's for the sake of letting them know before the decision is made public. Like I said earlier, we thank God the choice that was made. Peter Obi is one that is acceptable to Ndigbo, otherwise there would have been opposition. Thanks for listening to Igbo Area TV. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more updates. You can also visit our Facebook page and like the page. You can join our Facebook group, Igbo Area TV. You can also contact me on Facebook, Azuka Mwaneke. God bless you and bye for now.